There's about 1,000 people missing. He decided that somebody's life was more important than pellets. And I'm like, oh, no, not pellets. I have a Pete Rose story. Reds owner sell, because she was a racist. Well, this guy treated his players like shit. Why didn't Major League Baseball make this asshole sell? So you want to know my Charles Barkley story? And they'll be like, well, what do you want to know? As a woman or a man, you have to push that you want those things to be tested. Or they're not even going to fucking test it, dude. You know what I think of it? I think it's great. You know what I think's not great? That doctors don't know how to prescribe it. I think somebody's really, really bitter that my life is really good. This doesn't end well unless it ends. Can't just report the fucking obvious.
I don't care what a critic got to say, I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and
just a motherfucking jump. Just go. And welcome to the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff, and over in the other corner, the voice that you hear and that you never see him. You just hear the voice. That's Chase over there. Chase, how are you, brother?
I'm doing pretty good, man. You good? How are you doing today?
You know what? I'm excited because we're heading to Nashville tomorrow.
Yeah.
Going to see my daughter again. I'm loving it. And we are going to see Alabama on Saturday. And this is so funny. So I don't know. Did you see Dawn? Like, Dawn was a cheerleader in college.
Yep.
Right. For Purdue.
Yeah.
Right. In fact, you know what? Let's do this. Pull up her Facebook. Can we do that?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, there we go. That's kind of cool. We haven't done this with there's my girl.
Yeah.
All right, let's scroll back. Scroll back some days. We'll see. Yeah, look at her working out there, man.
I can't tell you how many compliments she gets leaving the bank from all the coworkers.
Really?
Because of her legs.
She does have good legs, dude. If I had her legs. Oh my God, I wish look at her in her MAGA hat. And at the Lions game, we were at the Lions game. My friends that we've talked about, Lester and Jill. Yeah. So keep going back. We'll have to go back. I'm sure she posted it of there we go.
There it is.
That's what I wanted. There it is. There she is. Guess what? So Dawn's not here right now.
Okay.
She's getting her hair done and stuff since we're leaving tomorrow.
Gotcha.
And so, I'm always ordering shit. She's always ordering shit. Like Amazon, like they don't, Neff, boom, we know right where they're at, right? And so I see a package outside.
Okay.
And I grab it and I open it up because I always open it up.
Yeah, you just assume it's at your house. It's going to be a package for you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's hers. She was going to surprise me. Do you know what it is?
I'm assuming another cheerleading outfit.
Yes, she got an Alabama cheerleader outfit. I can't believe it. And that one actually looks just like the Purdue cheerleaders' outfits when we were at the game. Like they were that close. I had no idea, but yeah, they were right there.
So by the end of by the few years that she's with you, she's gonna have a cheerleading outfit for each team you go see.
I'm sure I will see that cheerleader outfit at the hotel room.
Hell yeah! Get a closer inspection.
Yes, of course. So I had no idea we were gonna pull this up and talk about this, but yeah, just
I love that.
That's what we're going to do. So we're looking forward to that. And let's see what else. Oh, so we're going to see my watch friend.
Yes.
Who we got to get him on the podcast. We're going to go out to eat. So yeah, we're going to do that. Oh, yeah, let's do this too. I don't know if everybody's seen this or not, but it's just absolutely a terrible event. I don't know if we knew that the hurricane was going to be as bad as it was.
Yeah.
And this is one of maybe the worst hurricanes
that we've had in a while.
In maybe 20 years. You know, it's going back a while.
Yeah.
Going back to maybe Miami in the, I don't know, 2005, 2008, somewhere back in there, right? Yeah. And so sad. You know, if you can do anything, we can't count on the government to do anything because the government just a few days ago sent $8 billion to Ukraine. $8 billion. And I don't think Ukraine's sending any of that money back, or any of these other countries we help. I don't know what money they're sending back, because we have over 1,000 people. As of doing this broadcast now, there's about 1,000 people missing from this hurricane that, very likely could be dead. We don't know, but we know that we don't know where the fuck they are.
Yeah.
And this is what America is really about. And you don't really see this. And I was watching before it hit, right? Mm-hmm. I saw some little snippets here and there. And I don't know about you, but I absolutely hate when they do these broadcasts where it's raining, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're like this.
Storm.
You're the weatherman, and you're giving the weather, and you're like this, and you're banging. You're like, oh my God, like that's just stupid. It's just stupid. I hate that.
Putting them in all that danger.
Why? It ain't that fucking important, man.
In the studio.
It's not. But this guy saw something happen, and he decided that somebody's life was more important than the other bullshit that was going on. And so if you haven't seen this, hopefully you do get to see this, because this is just great. Let's play this.
So a little while ago, and he said, hold on, I'm going to go help that lady in that car. And he joins us right now from one of the areas around Atlanta. Bob, tell us, when we saw you last, there was a lady in that
Look at that car
behind you, and we could hear her
screaming
her head
pretty much submerged
during your live shot. And eventually you said, I've called 911, but the water was rising, and you had to do something. So pick up the story.
Steve, I know that we're swamped here with all the 911 calls because there's so many high water rescues that we've already documented so far, and called 911 in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you could hear her screaming, right? You could hear it during my live shot real loud, and that's her car right there. Windshield wipers are still on. So I just said, you know what? I realize I'm with you guys. I'm on the air, but I can't let it go. So I just... I dropped everything, and I took
hear
my
his
wallet
emotion
out of my pants, and I went in there, waded in, about chest deep. Yeah.
That's the type of guy Bob Van Dillen is. I've known Bob for probably 15 years. So don't be humble, my friend. I was not surprised at all when you took off your gear and on live television said, I've got to go do something.
Just another day for him.
Janice, you know how it is, and I was concerned at one that maybe there was a nice swift current, but the current really wasn't that bad. But the water temperature I was afraid with too. The water temperature is probably about 80, so all those things were working pretty nicely. Now that being said, the water came up to about my chest, and she was in there, and she was still strapped into her car, and the water was actually rising and getting up into the car itself. So she was about, almost neck deep submerged in her own car.
If you hadn't done that,
and she's on her phone with her husband.
What would have happened had you not gone in there? She would have drowned.
Well, it looks like it hasn't gotten that much. Yeah, I don't know. I told her, okay, undo your seatbelt. And she undid her seatbelt, and I said, let me have your phone, let me have your bags, and then put on my back, and then we walked in. So she's short. She's probably about this tall. So I put her on my back and just brought in. She's fine. She was in shock. She was cold, shivering, so I gave her one of my shirts, and she was in our car just warming up. About 10 minutes later, the fire department came, saw that we were okay, and they went on to the next rescue, wherever they're going. But her husband just picked her up about 5 minutes ago.
That's right.
You're amazing.
Yeah, there they are.
All right.
Bob,
I love how, I love how nonchalant he is about it too. Like, he is just like a casual thing he does. Like when he, how the reporter's like, oh, and that's exactly who he is. And he's just like, yeah. The kind of stuff
that's
I do.
good.
No, I like.
Those are good stories. And like I said, I really think that's who America really is. That it doesn't matter, in times like this. It doesn't matter what party you're going to vote for. He didn't ask her, hey, who are you going to vote for?
Could you imagine?
You know what I'm saying? None of that shit mattered. It's just being human.
Yeah.
Being a real human and just caring about other people.
Yeah.
And we need more of that, really.
I agree. 100%.
You know what to do. Share, because that's what, man, sharing is caring. Okay? Show me that you care. Share to your friends, to your family, especially to the family you don't like. I'm the Outlaw Apostle. I'm Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy.
I agree.
So, you like baseball, right? You're a baseball fan.
Within the last few years, I've become a really big baseball fan.
Well, I can tell you that when I was a kid.
Are you about to talk about the last game for?
Was
that the team that's moving to Las Vegas? That they just had their last game at their.
Yes.
Is that what you're going to talk about?
No.
Oh man, I got goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah,
I feel so bad for them.
The A's.
As an organization, imagine that many years.
All right, but what do you know about the Oakland A's?
I mean, I know they've had like really horrible history with like management and like
For a long time, dude.
Very long
for a
time.
long time.
Greedy owners.
Okay, so like one of the things I told you was that I read and read and read when I was a kid, and I read sports books, real life stuff. You know what I mean? Like mostly what I read was real life stuff. Except for the Hardy Boys. True story. That's the only thing I ever, like there was a whole series of the Hardy Boys, and my parents would get me, like 2 or 3 books at Christmas.
Okay.
And it would actually piss my mom off because I would read like one book in a day. In a day. Like that night, I would just read it in a day. And she's like, I buy you these and you read it that fast. Like, she'd be mad at me. Like, why are you mad? I'm reading. You're mad. What kind of parent gets mad at you for fucking reading, dude? No, I love my parents. But yeah, no, it was true though. Love that. It was true. But mostly I read history and especially sports.
Okay.
And big the A's. The A's, the early A's, in the 1970s.
Yeah.
Reggie Jackson, and they had like 4 or 5 all-stars, superstars on that team, and just great. And if you read, in fact, there's a Reggie Jackson on Netflix. There's something about Reggie Jackson on Netflix, I believe. That if you haven't seen, you really want to see that. There it is, documentary Reggie, 2023. I watched that. That's really if you're into baseball and stuff, and you'll hear about that. About that time with the A's, man, dude. That team was so good for so long, and the owner was an asshole, dude. Yep. Just a total asshole.
They could have had
they could have had half a dozen World Series.
Such a beautiful franchise, but greed just destroyed all of that. No, but I definitely plan on watching this.
Yeah, that's good. You'll really like that. Yeah, if you like that. So, I don't really feel all that bad. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get it for the fans. I'm getting, but this has been going on. Like for me, this has been going on for decades.
Yeah.
Longer than I've been alive. Okay, I was born in 1968. And like I said, it was the early 1970s when the A's were so great. And in fact, when I was in junior high, the team that I played for was the A's.
Okay, really?
Yeah. Well, you got to remember, so the Tigers, the Red Sox, the Cubs,
the Yankees,
every little league team, that was your name.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And one of the other ones, big ones, was the A's, because the A's were, like I said, good in the 70s.
Well known, yeah.
They were very, very well known. So, yeah, this is horrible. I don't understand why baseball, because they've been assholes before.
Yeah.
Of all the people they made the Reds owner sell, because she was a racist. Well, this guy treated his players like shit. Why didn't Major League Baseball make this asshole sell?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. And I mean, it's not like people weren't vocal about it either. Like people over the years, everyone, every single year, constantly telling how bad this owner is and this and that and that and this. Like, it's just, I was just watching a video of like them like doing like a whole like mini series about like the whole thing. And I think at one point he was selling the tickets. It was like almost like twice as much, and they were only getting like a plain hot dog with it or something like that. Like they don't even like on top of that you have to like buy like extra condiments and this and that. And I'm like, bro, how greedy can you get?
Dude,
like, bro,
he was
what?
just horrible.
Oh my God.
Horrible. It treated the players like shit. Now, so actually,
Yeah, what you were gonna say? Sorry.
yeah, it's okay. So as a young kid, you know, it was the Reds. You know, it was Johnny Bench, it was Pete Rose. You know, there's so many great Reds players like the A's.
Yeah.
You know, of that time, like the Reds were great for a long, long time. And I personally, I always loved Pete Rose. And the reason I loved Pete Rose was because he wasn't the best baseball player. You know, he didn't have the most talent. He just tried the hardest. He just gave his all on every single play, every effort. And that was me, you know, where I wasn't as good as my best friend. I always felt like I had to try twice as hard just to get anywhere close to where he was. And that's why I love Pete. And that's why any of the players that I've loved, you know, over the years.
Yeah, those qualities.
It's the guys that weren't the most talented, but just gave their all. Yeah. You know, and that's what Pete Rose did. And I think what Pete Rose, I think it's really shitty. And I haven't been to the you know, to the Baseball Hall of Fame. You know, I've never been there. Yeah. And I'm not going to go. And I'm not going to go because Pete Rose isn't there. How do you not have the greatest hitter in baseball history? How do you not have him in there? Yeah. Okay, so he bet on baseball. Let's go over that. Pete Rose bet on his own fucking team. He bet on his own team. He didn't bet. It's not like he bet on the other team and then he did crappy shit like in a game to throw the game. Yep. No, he just knew his team was so good. He bet on his team to win.
I don't blame him for that.
I love that. I'm sorry.
That's just extra bit of confidence.
Look, here, the thing is, you punished the guy. You punished him. For years, you punished him. Pete Rose, he loved baseball more than life itself, man. He just loved baseball. He loved coaching. You know, he loved being a manager. And they stripped him of everything, All right. At some point, you can't just say, okay, you know, at some point, you know, and isn't this all for the fans anyways?
Exactly.
And don't the fans, I mean, how many fans really are, fuck Pete Rose, he deserved it? How many fans do you hear like that? You don't.
I mean,
you don't really.
No, I know. Then you mentioned that he did pass, unfortunately, a few days ago. I mean, ever since then, I've seen nothing but posts online and stuff like that. Because again, like
people are like,
as soon as someone passes away,
shitty.
like people are just giving people their flowers as soon as they pass away. It's just
so.
It's just weird.
So, I have a Pete Rose story.
Hell yeah!
All right, always, when it comes to me, I always have stories. My stories of me and celebrities are the dumbest stories in the world.
Those are the
just
best
the dumbest stories. So, I don't know how many years ago it was, but it was a few years ago.
Okay.
I'd have to look it up. But anyways, I was in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And I didn't know that Pete Rose lived in Las Vegas. Didn't know that, but he lived in Las Vegas, right? And I don't remember what hotel it was, but I was there for Thrive.
Okay.
That's why I was there. They were paying for everything. It was a Thrive event and everything. And there was a baseball card shop.
Okay.
Or sports memorabilia.
Yeah.
You know, it was all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And I went in there
Okay.
because Pete Rose was signing shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All
Pete
right.
Rose was signing stuff. In fact, this that you see here,
Oh, that's where you got that sign.
this is where I got this.
Ah.
And like I bought this, you had to buy this, you know, and I forget what you could, I didn't care. Dude, I'd have paid anything for Pete Rose to sign it, you know, and I don't care how many, I didn't get this for the money.
No.
You know what I mean?
It's
or for hopefully,
sentimental.
no, I just love Pete Rose. And so he signed this and I thought this was cool, right? So that's why I pulled it out because I have it sitting over here usually, but I put it out here today. So Pete Rose, I'm in line, right?
Okay.
Pete Rose is sitting at like a desk almost, and he has like an iPad
Okay.
in front of him,
Okay.
and I can't see, you know, it's facing him, right? So he calls me up, has me come around the table, sit down, and, you know, pictures taken and stuff, and we're just chatting. I'm like, what are you doing in Vegas? He goes, I live in Vegas. I'm like, I didn't know you lived in Vegas. So we're talking, and I look at the iPad.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what was playing on the iPad?
I don't know.
Horse racing.
Horse racing.
True story. Here the dude got in trouble for betting on baseball, and he's signing
can't do
autographs.
baseball,
He's got an
move with the
iPad in
horses.
front of him, and he's watching horse racing. And you know he bet on a horse.
yeah.
You know he did.
It's like you don't just casually watch horse racing to watch.
No, nobody watches horse racing, dude. Not like that,
Not like
anyways,
that,
because
yeah.
you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Who's racing today? Who knows? There, that's my Pete Rose story.
That's actually really funny. I'm not gonna lie. That's the last thing I was expecting to be on that iPad. You know, I was expecting you to be like, oh yeah, he was watching some Thrive videos because we were there for the content. But
Nope. He wasn't there for Thrive.
That is hilarious. Though.
Nope.
It's like, baseball. We'll stay away from baseball. Horses, though. Sounds like my kind of thing.
I love it. Love Pete Rose.
That's the best.
And what a great career he had. And, you know, so you see, I got my USA shirt on. USA. What do people do when Donald Trump is announced at the Alabama football game? They, you know, it was Alabama, Georgia. They chant USA, USA. You need your felon shirt. Only felons, okay? He's going to put a picture of it over here. He's going to have, you know, like a little email, okay, if you want to get one. Okay, there's not a lot of time left. We got to make some people, let's just irritate some people between now and Election Day, right? It's a cool shirt. It fits good. It's comfortable. You'll really like it. All right? I'm the Outlaw Apostle. I'm Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy. Maybe, I don't know if they'll put him in the Hall of Fame now.
I really wouldn't be surprised because, again, like we were
I think
talking
it'd be
earlier,
shitty if they did.
If they did.
Yeah, I think it is be shitty.
After now that he's passed
Yeah,
away,
because I
then
think
give
it's-
it to him.
I think it's a slap in the face.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we wouldn't do this while you're alive, but now that you're dead, motherfucker, we'll put you in.
Yeah.
You know, because they're just those people out there. And it's just shitty. Just shitty. He was everything about baseball. I mean, look at everybody see what you have pulled up here?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you see in the top left corner there? He's
Florida
diving
Shane
for a
Band-Aid.
home plate. Exactly what you have here.
That man has air. Jesus Christ.
Dude.
That's a dive and a half. Jesus.
You know what? I used to dive head first.
Yeah.
And the only reason any kid or any man who played baseball, Little League baseball, when back in the 70s and 80s,
Yeah.
if you dived like this, and there was only one reason you dove.
Yeah.
Because of Pete fucking Rose. Because he dove.
That's no, I respect it. I'm
Right?
one of those people that would always dive head first, but that's just because I'm a little crazy.
He was crazy, man.
But, man, I love that. Look, the amount
Look at that.
The amount of air there is.
Look at the hair,
crazy.
dude. Isn't this almost perfect with what's in
I
the-
was just gonna
It's
say that
almost
it's like
perfect.
a replica. Yeah, no, that's funny. No, I love that. I love just the launch. It looks like he's been like floating
Dude,
in the air.
He's about a foot and a half off the ground, right?
I love that. I really do love that.
And you know he was safe, right? You just know he was safe there.
Man, I love it.
That's awesome.
Man, rest in peace to him, man. Rest
Yeah.
in peace.
Very cool. And that's what's on here too. 4,256 career hits. That's what he wrote on here. And he also wrote on here Hit King.
Hit King.
Hit King. Yep.
Oh, he has the record set for.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
That's what I meant.
That I did not
He
know.
was, greatest hitter of all time, man.
Okay. Because I remember a few podcasts ago, you said that he wasn't the best, but he was, and you would consider him the best hitter. I do remember you saying that, but I didn't know he actually held the record for career hits.
Yep.
Huh. Man.
And let's see, the Reds, and he played for the Phillies.
The Phillies, man. The Phillies. Man, I miss the old logos. I was thinking about that the other day. I don't know if that's like something, but
What?
like the older logo, like the Yankees, the old logo, the one with like the bat and it has like a top hat on it.
Really? We'll have to check it out. Let's see, old logo. Oh yes, I love
Man,
that,
the old
dude.
logos
Yeah, I
are
see what you
just
mean.
So
Yes.
good, man.
Yeah.
That was so, because I remember as a kid, like I don't know where my like where the love of baseball went, but I remember as a kid, like baseball was such a big thing because like in Mexico, it was just like where I grew up. That was like a really like it was more popular than like soccer or basketball. Or anything.
Really?
Like, oh yeah, baseball. Everyone where I come from, like my actually one of my cousins plays for the women's national softball.
That's kind of cool.
Like, oh yeah, like everyone in like from where I'm from, in my pueblo, baseball, softball were like the number 2. Basketball was number 3, and then soccer was number 4. Oh yeah,
Really?
oh yeah. I learned.
What you guys have against soccer?
Couldn't tell you, but something
That's
that
weird.
my dad has like because he played with when he was younger in the like the 70s or whatever. He played with him. A lot of my like uncles and stuff like that. They got a team together and like they play with the school and stuff like that. And they have like a case full of trophies. I'll have to see if I can get a picture I can show you.
That's kinda cool.
But like basketball and baseball were the 2 sports that I played first growing up as a kid. Like soccer was like one of the last sports I ever played. But for some reason, that's like the one that I kind of stuck with.
Yeah.
But yeah, baseball and basketball. So like
That's cool.
Yeah, no, I really, like I said, I was reminiscing the other day. I don't know what I was looking at, whatever, but I saw these old like baseball logos and the Yankees one. I don't like the Yankees. I grew up a Boston fan. Mm-hmm. My dad, for some reason, liked Boston, and we were just Boston fans. So the Yankees, they just wasn't it, right? The Yankees were not it. But something about that old Yankees logo just gives me like the reminiscence of just like, oh, back when I was really into like baseball. So
Yeah.
no, I love it.
Jesus.
That was your
I
stomach
know,
for a
that was
second.
my
I'm not gonna
phone.
lie. I was like, yo, what?
I didn't kill my phone. He doesn't know I'm doing a podcast.
Oh, man. Live interview.
Yes, I know.
That's funny. I love that.
Oh, this is just, there we go. It's silent now. Oh my God.
That caught me off guard a little bit. Like,
Me too. Like, it's, I don't know if you've ever heard my phone. It's, did you notice it was a motorcycle?
now I noticed, yeah. The Harley. You can tell it's a Harley. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, you know, I did like baseball. I never had a team. And the closest I came, like I said, was the Yankees for sure.
Yeah.
And Reggie Jackson. I mean, I loved Reggie. I mean, I thought Reggie was another great one. I just I don't know why that I just
Never really stuck.
Yeah. That it stuck like that. And I had a time period, like you said, like where it just faded for me.
Just for no reason.
And maybe it was just because football became just that much bigger.
Yep.
You know, I just, you know.
No, that
it
makes
was
a lot
all
of sense.
it's all the Steelers. I mean,
The entire room. I think like 90%
Steelers.
of the room is Steelers. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it was really maybe more of that taking over.
I'm assuming so, yeah. Because that's like, I think a little bit of what happened to me is I kind of just fell a little bit more into like basketball then. Because that's when
Who
like.
was your basketball team?
Oh, the Suns. The Suns.
The Suns?
The Suns,
Really?
without
The
doubt. That was yeah. Because I remember my favorite player growing up was Sean Marion. Sean Marion. Out of everyone on the Suns team, when they had Amari Stoudemire, Steve Nash, Barbosa, they had the stacked team. But the way Marion shoots the ball, do you remember how Sean Marion throws? Like it was just the quirkiest like shot in the world, and like I don't know, I love him. But yeah, the Phoenix Suns.
The Suns.
Good old Suns. my dad was a big Lakers fan, but I just couldn't get on board with the Lakers. I don't know what it was about the Lakers, but my dad
See the Lakers for
loved
the Lakers for me, it was more about that I hated the Celtics. That's what it was.
That's fair.
So that's how I became
More
so
of
big
a
a Lakers
fan.
fan, is because I just rooted for the team that I thought was
Against-
going to beat. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
Yeah. And then let's see. The Suns. Who else played for the Suns?
Man, back then the Suns were, I kid you not, like the Suns back, was it like 06, 07?
You know, like the Suns back in I don't know, was Jordan.
This
Who else?
is probably one of my favorite. Like, let's see. This is probably like when I like really got into it. They had Raja Bell, Barbosa, Sean Marion, Jermaine Jones.
Stoudemire was really good.
Yeah, Stoudemire was ridiculous. He was ridiculous. I don't know about this team. Honestly, like now that I'm looking at it, isn't that great on paper. It really isn't that good on paper.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Back then, it was just fun to watch the Suns. It's not like nowadays where you just kind of get disappointed. Back then, I feel like most sports back in the day were a lot more exciting. I don't know if that's just like as a kid kind of thing where like I just felt more excited about watching sports back then. But nowadays, or at least like the Suns, like sports like the basketball, I just feel like supporting the Suns is just, it's like supporting the Cardinals, right? Like they're either gonna have an amazing game that everyone's like, oh wow, look at Arizona doing well, or they're blowing a game that they were winning by 20 points or whatever it is. It's just a very, very common thing Arizona likes to do.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like the Barkley era, like when Barkley wasn't?
Yeah. So you want to know my Charles Barkley story?
You have a Charles Barkley story.
Yes,
All right,
of course I have a Charles
Hell
Barkley
yeah, Let's
story.
hear it.
What was the SUV, the big SUV?
Escalade.
No, like big.
The Hummer.
The Hummer. Okay, so here's my Charles Barkley story.
Okay.
I'm with my family.
Okay.
My daughter was with me too. We had rented a Charger.
Okay.
We rented a Charger, a lime green Charger.
Lime green.
We had a cool,
okay,
car
all right,
that we
all
rented. We were here on vacation.
Okay.
And we were at, in Scottsdale.
Okay.
And we're on like Scottsdale Road. And we're at a stoplight.
Okay.
And my daughter looks out the window and she goes, "Hey, Dad." And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Isn't that Charles Barkley?" and I leaned, because I'm in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
I leaned, looked through the passenger side. I'm like, "That is Charles Barkley." And he was in a Hummer, and I rolled down the window, and it was like, "Hey, Charles." And he looked over and he waved, and light turned
Just
green,
nice
and we
and
went.
casual.
We just went. We went go. That's my Charles Barkley
Man,
story.
that is kind of hilarious. So
But my
just how
daughter, yeah.
casually- That
Hey,
is. That
Isn't
is
that
funny.
Charles Barkley?
She was the
it
one
was.
to recognize her.
Yep. My kid?
Yeah.
My girl?
Big
Of
fan.
course.
Big fan.
I mean, remember, that's when I was getting her up out of bed. My daughter's middle name is Jordan.
You're right. You did say that.
Right.
You did.
So
say
I
that,
would
yeah.
get her out of bed when my ex-wife, when she was in bed, and I'd get my daughter out of bed just to watch the the playoffs, Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's honestly. Put the volume down just a little bit.
Yeah. That's what we did.
Hell yeah, that's dope as fuck.
That's funny. Yeah,
No, but
that's
Charles-
what I wanted.
man,
Yeah, that's what I was
Charles
trying to
Barkley.
think of Charles. Yeah, Charles is the one. That was my Charles Barkley story.
Oh man.
And
What a funny man.
let's see, who was the guy? The Bird.
Larry Bird?
Not Larry Bird. They called him Bird.
Played
And he
for the
had all.
Suns?
Yeah, did he play for the Suns or who did he play for? No, he played for. He played for Miami for a minute when Miami won the championship. Chris Anderson. Maybe that was it. No, that's not him. He played for Miami, the Miami Heat.
Jesus. Yeah,
Yeah, it is Chris Anderson. Yeah. But look, so who else did he play for? Pull him up. He just pull up his career. Yep. He was you know what? He was playing for Denver. So this is right. See. So this would have been probably 08, 09.
Okay.
All right. So here's my other story. I used to have a picture of him on my phone.
Okay.
That got deleted. I don't remember what steakhouse it was. It was some famous like big steakhouse in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
And we were here on vacation and waiting to get seated. And the person I was with at the time, so we saw him, right?
Yeah.
In the bar area. We were waiting to get seated. And he came out to the bar and he got a bunch of, what's the one?
Long Island.
No. It was it was the alcohol that was my worst nightmare.
The vodka?
Huh? No. Why can't I remember? It's like a famous alcohol.
Whiskey?
No, it wasn't whiskey.
Tequila?
Tequila.
It's tequila.
Don
Julio?
No. Why can't I remember? This is so stupid. I feel like fucking Biden. I know. I'm sorry. So yeah, it was tequila. It begins with a P. Why can't I remember?
Tequila with a P.
P.
Patron?
Patron. Like, oh, dude, like Patron was the death of me. If you were ever with me, when I drank, and if I ordered Patron, you knew it was a bad night. You knew shit was gonna get fucked up. Money was gonna be laying on the floor. Credit cards. I was gonna end up with some fat fucking chick. Dude, they started out good looking. Okay, they did. You know what I mean?
I've been there, Troy.
But the drunker I got, the uglier they got. Dude, I'm like, how like you kind of wanted to chew on my fucking arm off. I know, right? So Patron. So he came out and ordered Patron.
Okay.
The whole basketball team is back in a room by themselves.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, so the entire team's there.
The whole team is there,
okay,
right?
Okay.
And this is a 5-star steakhouse.
Okay.
Right? And I think I'm wearing jeans, cowboy boots, an expensive shirt.
Hell
like I
yeah.
look good. I was rocking it, right? But these guys were wearing like flip flops and basketball shorts because they're in a room all by themselves, right? So the person I was with, she goes, "You should buy them all a drink." Okay, so I ordered
for the team. Yeah.
I ordered a drink for the whole team.
Yeah.
He comes out, sees me sitting, and walks straight over to my table and he goes, "You're the motherfucker that bought us drinks, right?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I knew it was you." So
something stood out.
Yeah, like just me. He sat down and talked to me for a half an hour. Half an hour. He sat at our table. Like I used to have his cell phone number.
Really?
Yeah, because he got in trouble. We started talking about motorcycles and bikes, and like they put it in his contract that he couldn't ride a bike until that's some crazy stuff. And I think it was. And he was in some fucked up shit back then.
Really?
Yeah, because I looked up after that, like his ex-girlfriend, like said some shit, like that he did some shit and she lied. And it fucked up his career for a minute. Yeah, Birdman. Yeah, he had look at the tattoos on all his neck and stuff.
What didn't he when he first joined? He had like 0 tattoos when he first joined, and then like a season after he was covered in tattoos. A massive catfish scheme out in Canada. He became a victim.
No, that isn't it. No, it was a girlfriend. Like I don't know. But we don't have to look it up.
But yeah. But
anyway,
we were talking about it. You got into the conversation about bikes.
No, we talked after that when I tried to get a hold. Like he is when that all happened, and then I had it was some fucked up shit. I think it was when he was probably with the Heat, but whatever. Yeah. Yeah, it was girlfriend.
It's crazy that they just have a
Maybe it
dating
was
history.
that. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it was.
Yeah, I mean the catfish thing keeps coming up.
Yeah, but there was something else I thought. But that's okay. It's not that big a deal. So today I happen to be at the gym.
Okay.
And it's really, really weird now, right? That I can like just hear like somebody will be 5-10 feet away from me.
Yeah.
And I pick up a word or two and I'm like this. They're talking about testosterone.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. And Dawn noticed that too, that I can pick up like that,
Like the
things
small
like
little
that,
things, yeah,
just
yeah.
here and there. And so I walked over.
Okay.
All right, because they were talking about the pellets. And I'm like, oh, no, not pellets. Look, man, you don't want to do the pellets because you can't control it.
Yeah.
You know, if you have too much in there,
Yeah.
then you can't reduce it because it's already in you.
Yeah.
Or if it's not enough or whatever, the pellets you can't control.
Yeah, the
Fuck
adjusting
the
of
pellets.
it is not easy.
And the other guy tried to tell him about the cream and said, like, you can control the cream. I have to do it twice a day. Yeah, and you also have to worry about getting it on your wife, your girlfriend, your kids. No, you can't control the cream. You can't tell me you can push out a little bit and you're exactly going to get the right amount in there.
Get a measure
but
exactly 0.1.
you can take a needle and get it pretty fucking accurate about how much you're going to put in there, right? And so part of the problem this guy had was the doctor he was going to.
Okay.
That when he went to the doctor and got his blood work done, he was at like 450. Here's the problem with 450.
Okay.
At 450, most doctors are not going to mess with you.
Yeah.
They're not. If you go to a clinic, maybe they will. All
If
right.
they're specialized
But
in
here's
it.
the thing. Yeah. Here's the thing though, is everybody is different.
Yep.
And somebody can be at 450 and he has the symptoms. And that's the thing, that he has the symptoms and a regular doctor is not really going to consider the symptoms, where you might have a doctor who is at a clinic, he will consider the symptoms. And they should. And so we got to talking about that a little bit and about the cost. And depending on where you go, it can sometimes cost more than it should. And it really shouldn't be that expensive because it's generic. And generic just means that they somebody doesn't control it anymore.
Yeah.
That usually
No brand name on it.
Yeah. It's just, for a certain period of time that they can do that. And then when it's, generic, anybody can make it. Well, the price is going to come down because anybody can make it.
Yep. Supply and demand.
So yeah, and that's really it. So, he wanted to research. I love that. So I started giving him some names, like Jay Campbell, which is somebody that I follow, and anybody out there that wants information and good, accurate information on TRT. Jay Campbell is definitely the guy you want to go to. He's got the testosterone optimization therapy. I've read that book a couple times. Highly recommend that book. He also has a newer book on peptides as well. But, what I believe about testosterone, what I believe on optimization is exactly what he believes.
Okay.
So
It's like one of your main sources.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And then the other guy was talking about peptides.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And he just wasn't getting good information about the dosing.
Okay.
So I kind of steered him towards Dr. William Seeds, and definitely somebody that, whatever, these two guys, which is what I try to tell y'all, is that you definitely want to know the best information, that these guys are by far the experts, that these are the guys that are the gurus in this area. So that's definitely it. And you can see he has podcasts, I think, too. Jay Campbell does too.
Yeah, I just saw he actually has a few books, it looks like, and then it looks like he has a YouTube channel as well.
Yeah. So definitely check that out. And the only good thing that I can really say is at least it's being talked about more. It's good that I can overhear this you know, in the gym, that guys that are working out together are talking to each other about it, and that it's becoming less taboo than it was, you know, than it was not long ago.
I was about to say maybe even like a year or two ago.
Yeah, I would say so. It's out there, but the problem is people still don't understand the best way to do it.
Yeah.
You still hear a lot of misinformation as far as, you know, like what even this guy said, you know, that a lot of things that he had once thought that they had talked about previously in regards to cancer and things like that, that it's the exact opposite. That testosterone is not causing cancer. And yet on the exact opposite, that you're having people be healthier, you know, that having testosterone and proper testosterone levels are helping men be healthier and live longer. It just is, you know, that they've done the studies now, and more good information has come out. And I don't know why you still have, you know, doctors that are living like it's 20, 30, 40 years ago, you know, and that's what I said, that like, I don't understand it. If a doctor doesn't really understand testosterone optimization therapy, what he really should do is refer the client or the patient to someone else.
Yeah.
If it's not your area, that's fine. But instead of making it sound like it's something that's bad when it's not, refer them to someone who does know. And, you know, then when we talked about peptides, you know, semaglutide got brought up, you know, Ozempic, which, you know, semaglutide is Ozempic. Oh, what do you think of that? You know what I think of it? I think it's great. You know what I think's not great? That doctors don't know how to prescribe it.
I mean, it's the same thing with pretty much like all the other specialists that they refer you to. Like, I don't understand why it wouldn't be the exact same.
Well, I mean, I could ask you, you know, how many doctors do you know that know anything about working out?
Very little.
Very few doctors know much about working out.
Yep.
And they only know anything about working out if they actually work out themselves, and there's not very many.
And a lot of the times when a lot of the doctors do gym stuff, it's very basic, or at least to my knowledge, it's very like minimal kind of work, like just to keep the body active. They're not,
Absolutely.
They're not necessarily going in
well,
there.
and now I asked those guys the same thing. Is like, would you be surprised to learn that doctors only get about 6 hours of
exercise?
When it comes to diet, they only get 6 hours of training when it comes to diet.
Yeah.
6 hours, dude. So if you have to change your lifestyle, if you have to eat more protein, and if you have to work out for Ozempic, semaglutide, for it to work its best and work how it's supposed to be, well, how many doctors are going to know those things?
Yeah.
They just don't. You know, they just go on about doing, they just go about whatever is the hot thing at the moment.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
You know, and you can tell that when you can go back not very many years, when you find out these doctors used painkillers, right? These painkillers were supposed to be mostly for patients who had cancer. And you know, and then they got on this kick of, well, pain is pain. And so they started prescribing these painkillers that were meant for cancer patients, for people that just had other general types of pain. Yeah. And that's how you had Percocets and all those others,
opioids,
you know, all those opioids went, you know, because that became the hot thing. Yep. Doctors prescribing it. Oh, well, yeah, you're right. Pain is pain. Let me write some more of this. Maybe some more hot chicks can come in and take me to lunch, right? Because that's what they did, right? The drug companies hired hot women to go see the doctors. Why not?
I mean, from a business standpoint, I mean, it's smart.
It is smart.
From a business standpoint,
yeah. Did you ever see those two brothers that the real estate guys
Oh, like the twin brothers?
Yeah, the twin brothers.
Yeah.
Is there a guy that works for them? I don't know. Not very many. But if there are any, they're not on the show.
No.
Right?
No, God, no. No,
Dude,
no,
but
no,
if
no.
I was gonna run a real estate agency, you know what I would do? I'd hire hot chicks.
For real estate? Hell yes.
Fuck yes, dude.
Hell yes.
Yeah, can you show me the other room, too? Yeah, please. Yeah, come on, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's pretty much in any business aspect. I mean, if you have someone that's going to be dealing with customers 24/8, you want someone a little more attractive. And that's just, again, from a business standpoint, it's probably the best thing you could do. And that's probably why anytime you go to bigger corporate areas and they have a lot of people that are facing you, guess what? 90% of those people are going to be females. And a lot of the times they're going to be a little bit more good-looking females.
Of
So,
course.
like, it's anywhere you go.
Yeah.
That's the way to do business.
It is.
Yeah, it really is.
So, the whole point, we go way back, hire hot women. No, no,
Just say it at the top of your lungs.
Yeah. But the truth of the matter is, you need to do the right things, and these doctors need to do the right things, and they're not. And so it's up to you. You have to do your homework. You know, I don't know if any of you have ever had a parent or not that's been ill or sick or in the hospital, because when my mom, before my mom died, she was in the hospital and she had to have a procedure done, and the doctor didn't recommend the procedure. It was a nurse that told us privately that there was this specific procedure that my mom could have done that was like a special thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like very
yeah.
circumcision.
Yeah. And it was going to be done at Toledo University Hospital. Okay. It was a different hospital that they would do it at. And so when the doctor came in, and I brought it up to the doctor because I don't really give a shit. Yeah. I don't really care. And I brought it up to the doctor. The doctor said, well, you have to have this. You had to have like these other 4 or 5 things.
You had to qualify for it.
Yeah, to be done. And I said, oh, yeah, I know. And she's had all those done already. And so he went and checked the chart. Well, I guess you're right. I guess she has. I guess she does qualify. So then they transferred my mom to this other hospital, and she got the procedure. And it's very gross. So I'm not going to tell you what the procedure was, but it's very gross. And it worked. No, she passed away, later, from other related things, not this, but this specific thing, that procedure did work. And it worked because a nurse told us that, hey, you might, all because of a nurse.
If it wasn't for her opening her mouth, none of that would have happened.
No. So my whole point is, but it took me too. It took that nurse to tell me, and then it took me to say something to the doctor.
Yeah.
You got to care for yourself. You got to look out for yourself. And if you care about your health, one of the best things you can do for your health is to get your hormone levels right. Whether it's testosterone, whether it's growth hormone, we have lots of different hormones. And when those hormone levels are not right, it doesn't matter if you're doing everything else right, but your hormone levels aren't right, you're not going to get the results that you really should have. You're not going to be at your best. And there are some doctors now that believe that women, because their hormone levels are not right, and because they may be premenopausal and other things, that they're taking these other drugs that's totally fucking them up. And that is also fucking up their relationships.
Yeah.
It plays a role in
because you're ruining people's lives to like a certain extent.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, because like once you mess, like I'm not 100% sure on this, but a lot of the times from what I'm getting from what you say is like once you start messing with hormones, like they don't usually go back to normal things, or at least not right away, or like they can really change after like someone really messing up with hormones. So like you're changing a lot in a person's life if you're not controlling that properly, if you're not like prescribing the right medication, the right amount of medication, like you said.
And they don't know. They don't even know, dude. That you have to push as a woman or a man. You have to push that you want those things to be tested.
wanna be-
Or they're not even going to fucking test it, dude. If you go in for your basic test, they are not going to check your total testosterone, your free testosterone. They're not going to check your estrogen.
Yeah.
You know, they're just not going to check those things.
It's gonna be like, here's your blood pressure. Get on going.
You have to specifically ask. And they'll be like, well, what do you want to know? Well, because I do want to know, motherfucker. Because that shit's pretty fucking important.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say? Having my hormone levels right, that would be pretty thing. That would be pretty smart to
check
thing,
up
right,
on, yeah.
Doc? Are you saying it's not important? Come on.
I mean, that's what they like to infer, you know. It's like, you really only need to check your blood pressure and you'll be all right.
Yeah. I'll check that later. Yeah. Well, said yeah. Well, then what's the other one they always do too?
The cholesterol.
Yeah, that was it. Yep. Cholesterol. Oh, is it your good cholesterol, your bad cholesterol? Oh no. Oh no. Sure.
Yeah.
All right. So when I get back, I'm going to tell you about all the fun things we did in Nashville.
I'm excited for it.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited to spend the time with my daughter and for my daughter to get a chance to meet Dawn and stuff too. And looking forward to having a great time. So we're leaving Wednesday and we come back Monday.
That's a pretty good vacation there.
That's a pretty good
Yeah, that was
vacation
good.
if you call it that. I'll be working the whole time.
I'm sorry, what do you call it? A workcation?
Yeah.
Workstation?
Yep. Workation.
Workation. That's what it
And
is.
then, so we come back on Monday and then we leave on Thursday.
To Vegas? Is
To Vegas,
that's
baby.
Vegas, yeah.
So yeah, it's quite the
The next
time.
2 weeks is gonna be a good time.
It's gonna be
man.
pretty good.
Hell yeah, it's gonna be like hearing.
Let's just say I've been talking to my attorney lately,
Okay.
and I think somebody is really kind of, well, they're bitter. I think somebody's really, really bitter right now that my life is really fucking good. And I don't know what to do about that. Like, oh well.
I mean, yeah. That's exactly what you're saying. Oh well.
Oh well.
Should have thought about that before, no?
Yeah, it's oh. I don't want to add any fuel to the fire because it's like, oh my God.
Oh man.
All right, that's it. We're done. We are out of here. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast, and I am the Outlaw Apostle. I'm the guy. I'm the fucking guy.
Whoa! Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life.